Now, as for how we proceed from here. The villagers we evacuated earlier have arrived safely in the Crystarium. They seem to be accepting their situation for the moment. Most folk are far too distracted by the sky to worry about wounds or lost homes. They whisper and wonder if the Warrior of Darkness has come. 'Tis to be expected. Chloe, I must ask a favor of you. Chloe, I must ask a favor of you. Would you be so kind as to conceal your involvement in this endeavor for the time being? Seeing the light recede from Lakeland is a momentous occasion, and many will be swept up in a maelstream of excitement and confusion. Should you come forth as a legendary Warrior of Darkness, I fear that, no matter how good your intentions, such an appearance would throw the city into disarray. I find myself in agreement with the X-Arch, although my concerns are more focused on Yulmore. It may be best if you maintain a low profile until we see how Vothra responds to all of this. My thanks. Though we cannot freely celebrate your success, pray allow your heart to be buoyed by the joy of our citizens, a joy you surely brought into being. And I must ask the same discretion of you, Captain. 'Tis my intention to share with our people the tale of a great warrior who stood in defiance of the Sin-Eaters. This unnamed champion defeated the Light Warden, and has since departed for parts unknown, yes? As you wish, my lord. Your penchant for mystery is nothing new, and I will encourage folk not to question this either. Although I expect to be told the whole truth of it one day, about all of you. With that settled, I shall return to the Crystarium and make an address to the people. These explanations and adjustments will consume much of my time, so pray take the opportunity to rest and recover from your exploits, and to think you'll not even need to shutter the windows to enjoy a dark and peaceful night's sleep. I must stay behind and coordinate the evacuation of the remaining survivors, and I hesitate to ask after all you've done here today, but could I ask you to pass on a message on your way to the Pendants? Please let Bragi know that we're bringing in a number of injured, and that any restoratives in the markets need to be reserved for the infirmary. Should we start making our own way back to the Crystarium? Slowly, mind you. It wouldn't do to arrive too soon after the X-Arch. I'm staying behind as well. There's something I need to check on in Holminster. We already went through the village top to bottom, Alize. We should all take the chance to rest, you included. I knew one of those eaters, and I can't rest. Not now. So please, I wish to be left alone for a while, and that means you as well. I shall be cross if you try to follow me. I promise to find you later when I feel myself again. Just you and me then, shall we? Well, the Crystarium seems relatively ordered, wouldn't you say? The X-Arch's speech must have been reassuring to hear. On the contrary, there is something jubilant in the air. I have a feeling this night won't be quite as peaceful as our hooded friend predicted. I think I shall take a brief stroll around town before retiring to my chambers. Once you've discharged your duty to Bragi, I suggest you do the same. Sleep well. I hope untroubled dreams find you and Alize both. Aye, what can I do for you? Looking to buy a lantern, like every other stumbling soul in the city? I see. Well, Captain Lena can rest assured that any potions I spot coming in will be set aside for the wounded. Hang on a moment. If you're carrying messages for the guard, does that mean you were there then? The battle at Hallminster? A stalwart lass like you might want to pay a visit to the Wandering Stairs. Make yourself known. I'm sure Glenard can introduce you to some interesting opportunities. Scylla, more beer for table 2 and a couple of pints of mead for table 3. While you're at it, coming right up. Sorry, we're rushed off our feet this evening, miss. Can I get you anything? Drinks around the house. Oh, that Braggy has a twisted sense of humor. Gahahaha. Think it's in you to me at a time like this. The first real night in near 100 years as folks are all riled up and then some. What's more, there was that eater business at Hallminster Switch. They say a Light Warden was destroyed without a damn trace, and it was the Warrior of Darkness who did the deed. I really must apologize for Glenard. He's been almost as rowdy as our customers, and that's no small feat. A lot of our regulars are bounty hunters, you see. They mostly go after eaters, and the rumor of the warrior's appearance was the spark to their kindling. You know how the weak eaters are drawn to the stronger ones, right? Aye, they swarm like angry bees around a queen. You need look no further than Hallminster for proof of that, but attacks on that scale don't happen every day, praise the blessed Shadow. No, the more common threats are the strays. No one knows why, but every now and again an eater will leave the pack to prowl alone. Those are the ones you run into on the road if your luck is foul. They're a danger to everyone, so the settlement council puts bounties on their heads, and our bar here is a convenient place for hunters to gather and share information. Seems a few of them were inspired by the warden slaying even more than most. These are the types who have their sights set on the absolute worst of the strays, a class of eaters that they've dubbed the Cardinal Virtues. The Virtues showed up out of nowhere about 3 summers ago, and when historians heard the descriptions given by survivors, well, apparently they share an appearance with the villains who caused the flood. And if that doesn't send a chill down your spine, they're also reported to be as tough as Light Wardens, not the kind of prey you can take down single-handed. Our Virtue Hunters had all but given up, but knowing the Warrior of Darkness is out there has lit a fire in their bellies. Just look at them. That Hume over there, with the oversized sword, is Granson. He's in it for revenge. Wants to recruit a comrade in arms as tenacious as he is. The Mistel lad is Lurique. Don't be fooled by those dewy cheeks. He's as hard a hunter as they come. He's just a lost partner, and it seems to be on the lookout for a new one. That's Sereg. Word is, he seeks an expert in magecraft to help fight the Virtue he's after. Last, we have Gyat, Dwarf and Drunkard both. Wanted to join forces with a healer, and only a healer. Something about needing a mender's wisdom. I've seen my share of competent veterans, and you have that look about you. Maybe you should introduce yourself to one of our hunters, who knows? Together you might even collect the bounty on a cardinal virtue. Now there's a grand idea. Imagine the prestige my bar would earn if we boasted the patronage of a successful virtue hunter. You have gained access to role quests. A separate quest line and story is now available for tank, DPS, magic DPS, and healer roles. In order to reach the final stages of the Shadowbringers main scenario, you must complete at least one role quest line. Speak with a virtue hunter at the Wandering Stairs to accept a quest offer. Why is he red to me? Oh. Healers only. Guess this is my friend, Lurik. Answer to his prayers. Wait, you wouldn't happen to be... Awkward. Yes, of course you are. 'Tis plain from the way you carry yourself. You're just the sort of woman I've been looking for. You're perfect. My name is Lurik, and I am a bounty hunter. And not just any bounty hunter. I will have you know, nay, I am not wont to settle for run-of-the-mill prey. I hunt sin-eaters. Not only that, I have recently set my sights on a particular notable fiend, one of our 4 cardinal virtues, those infamous instigators of the flood itself. Naturally, it will take considerable strength and skill to defeat such a formidable eater, and I'm not afraid to admit I cannot do it alone. However, with the aid of equally formidable allies, I'm confident it can be done. And you, my friend, are exactly the sort of ally I have in mind to recruit. Vain interest. Aha, I knew you'd be interested, and should the challenge alone be insufficient motivation, know that I have substantial financial resources at my disposal. You'll be duly compensated for your service, rest assured. Good thing, because our money doesn't work here, supposedly. However, as much as I am certain you are the right woman for the job, it is only meet that I put your skills to the proof. A simple test should suffice. Pray do not be offended, but you would be shocked how many people present themselves falsely in order to enrich themselves or to impress others. I wonder if anyone can sleep with the city in such an uproar. But will you be retiring to your quarters? Apparently. Very good. In light of the present situation, I have had illumination prepared for all our rooms. No need to rush to the markets for lanterns or candles. Have a pleasant rest.
So it's your lot's turn to be the Warriors of Darkness, is it? It's funny how things work out. Well, I did warn you. I followed you to Yulmore and then on to Armarang. And I was there when you slew the Light Warden. Those white-haired twins who were with you. I remember them from our battle in the Source. Are they your friends then? Aye. Then I suggest you keep them close. It's when you charge ahead trying to save someone else that you end up losing those you love. Not that you need telling, I'll bet you've lost plenty. But I wonder, what will it cost you this time? I don't remember when it was that I learned regret wasn't worth the bother. You get numb to it all over the years. The lost comrades, the broken promises, the abandoned principles. Just more nagging burdens to ignore.
So this is what the light was hiding. She's here. I must go to her.
Meanwhile, inside an Imperial Magitech facility,
Intruders! Fan out and find them! Out of my way!
Stay your weapon. We are not your enemy. When the alarm sounded, I wondered what we had done to betray our presence. But I see now we are not the only intruders. Sir Estinian, I presume. The dragoon who plucked the Warrior of Light from the jaws of death? Your armor is most distinct.
Much as yours once was. But even without it, I see a former legator still has eyes and ears in unexpected places. Van Baelsar, in the flesh. Though I understand you prefer Shadow Hunter.
You are in contact with the Scions, I take it.
Through no choice of my own, they tracked me down and conscripted me to their cause. I swear their receptionist was trained as a spy. Not that anyone can escape that Baldessian woman once she has caught the scent of your ether.
If they have resorted to using freelancers, I must assume their attempts to wake the afflicted have failed. And what of their champion?
Away on other business. Thus, it has fallen to me to root out any trace of the Empire's new weapon.
If it is Black Rose you seek, you are too late. My people have already completed your mission here. Yet this is but one factory among many. When they caught wind of our efforts, they built additional facilities to ensure production continues unabated. There will be no one left in the lands they conquer. No citizens to conscript. No skills to exploit. Nothing the Empire needs. And they will call it victory.
What exactly does this Black Rose do?
The gas is described as a poison, but its actual effect is more arcane in nature. It was created to disrupt the ether in living beings, to bring the flow of their life energies to a standstill. Inhaling even the tiniest amount will cause all bodily functions to cease, much as a potent venom will stop a man's heart. Released over a city, Black Rose could conceivably kill every inhabitant, and all without damaging a single structure.
Search every corner! Rouse the barracks if you have to! I want this facility secured!
I have more questions, but now is not the time.
Sir Estinian, I have an offer for you, but I will make it only once. Since it would seem we seek the same answers, you are welcome to join us.
Ha! From what I hear, you need all the help you can get. In case you don't know, Varys himself confessed that your empire was a creation of the Ascians.
I am aware of what his Radiance said at the parley. Thus I would return to the capital, that I might behold the truth of this corruption with my own eyes. My path leads to Garlemald.
Here you are, our proving grounds. You need only slay a beast of suitable ferocity before my very eyes to demonstrate your own. Naturally require bait to lure one out of hiding. Needs bait? Got your package here. Well done, my good man, and here's your payment. Oh, this? The bait in question. Easier to have it delivered than to take a detour and pick it up myself. Rather more efficient as well. Time is money. Now then, you need only place it in the open and slay whatever comes to claim it. I cannot imagine it will take long for something to come hither. Time is money, but he just spent money on time. Just saying. Fantastic. I knew I was not wrong about you. Come, let us return to the Crystarium at once. Congratulations on a kill well made. My good woman, I dare say this is the beginning of a beautiful partnership. Let us commemorate the occasion with a feast. Eat, drink, and be merry. Wonderful stuff, something, something. Another helping? No, are you sure? It really is no bother. Oh, very well. I should like to return to our earlier discussion, that of the virtue I have engaged you to hunt with me. Andrea is her name, and she roams Norvant in the guise of Renda Ray, fallen warrior of light, and renowned hunter of Eld. She is a most elusive eater who has been sighted in every corner of the realm. Though her movements are unpredictable, she has often been witnessed pursuing and slaying extraordinarily dangerous beasts. I can well imagine the question forming in your head, why not leave her be? If anything, is she not aiding local communities after a fashion? Alas, no. For the beasts she slays rise anew, as eaters, which pose even greater threats to the small folk. So you see, this one wretched sin-eater is in truth sowing untold chaos by carrying on as she does, unleashing more of her kind on suspecting towns and villages all across Norvant. Only you and I can stop her. So she was a warrior of light. Didn't the warrior of light save the world? Probably not here. Huh? What an odd thing to ask, but never mind all that. Whether or not they were heroes or villains or whatever 100 years ago doesn't matter to me. The simple truth is, Renda Ray was the greatest hunter who ever lived, and beating her at her own game would be an amazing feat, don't you think? And regardless of what the Warriors of Light were before they became sin-eaters, that's what they are now, so we'd be doing folks a favor by killing one. Well, what say you, friend? Will you hunt Andrea with me? Hell no. I hope I live to regret this. With pleasure. So begins our formal partnership. Ah, I can see it now, you and me in the heat of battle, fighting side by side, the picture of courage and camaraderie. It's going to be grand. Naturally, it will take us time to study and understand our prey. Eaters can behave in strange and inexplicable ways, particularly powerful ones like Andrea. I've been doing my best to get inside her head, to think like a hunter, but it is easier said than done. Anyway, as soon as I've determined where we ought to begin our search, I will inform you at once. Oh, is the reward lacking? My apologies. Next time I will see that you receive rather more substantial compensation. 72. But it looks like we don't need to complete anything more. Uh-oh. We need level 72, and we're not even remotely close to 72. Wow. Alright. Yep. Gonna go do 2 or 3 dungeons. Alright, I'm back, and I did 3 dungeons. 2 of them are roulettes. Oh, one was a low leveling roulette. And 1, maybe 2 side quests. And that was pretty easy to get to 72. Begging your pardons, miss, but do you perchance intend to head outside? If so, I would strongly advise you to not stray too far from the Crystarium. Word has it Ylmore has dispatched its military to Lakeland. Given the timing, one can only assume they do not welcome the return of night. Even now, the Exarch is in the ocular, deliberating a response.
You have come at a good time. As you may have heard, we have something of a quandary on our hands. Laxon Loft, here in Lakeland. Yulmore has sent one of its airships. They have questions for us concerning the death of the Light Warden. Their emissary makes his way here even as we speak.
I suppose the sky does rather give the game away.
Indeed. 'Twas inevitable they would come knocking. The only question was how soon.
My lord, I am come with the Yulmoran emissary. May I show him in?
A moment, Captain, if you would. Everyone, gather round. I do not wish to show our hand prematurely. Forgive me this liberty. Vanish.
He is strong.
Enter. Well, well. The commander of the Yulmoran army himself. To what do I owe the honor, General Ranjit?
The Light Warden is dead, Exarch. Were your people responsible?
You are clearly in some haste, my lord. But before I address your question, you must allow me one of my own. What is Yulmore's interest in this?
His benevolence, Lord Vorthri, is gravely concerned that the actions of an ignorant few may jeopardize relations between man and Sin Eater. Should it transpire that the Crystarium is guilty of abetting the villains responsible for this outrage, my lord has decreed that it suffer the same retribution.
I see. Since you have been so candid, I too shall speak my mind. Regardless of who is responsible, the Crystarium rejoices in the Light Warden's death and welcomes the return of the night sky. If Yulmore considers this tantamount to aiding those you term villains, then by all means, carry out your retribution. Know, however, that even should every innocent soul in the Crystarium perish, nothing can stop that which has been set in motion.
Folly. The death of one or 1,000,000 Sin Eaters changes nothing. The world is dead, and writhe as we might, like maggots in its rotting course, it will not be reborn. Only by my master's grace may we live out our days in peace. But I waste my breath. You have made your stance clear. I shall relay your words to Lord Vorthry. In the meantime, you would do well to counsel any here who have done more than merely rejoice in recent events, to throw themselves upon Yulmore's mercy. Promptly. One last matter. We are searching for a young artist and his assistant. Know you of whom I speak?
An artist and his assistant, no. I cannot say I do.
What a pity. Should they reveal themselves to you, I bid you hand them over at once. My master is most eager to see them again.
Am I imagining things, or did he just stare straight at us?
I fear he did. The General is not a man to be trifled with. He is a warrior of fearsome repute who has led Yulmore's army since before Vorthry's time, when the nation still spearheaded the fight against the Sin Eaters. One does not command the world's mightiest army, and for so long, without possessing exceptional instincts.
If Yulmore chose to send such an individual, we must assume this talk of retribution is more than an idle threat. While we are grateful for your support, my lord, we cannot in good conscience put your people in harm's way.
'Tis noble of you to say, Master Alphino, but my people have been in harm's way since long before you arrived. Yulmore has ever yearned to rule over what remains of the world. Even should we surrender the Warrior of Darkness to them, they would find some other pretext upon which to invade. The people of the Crystarium know this only too well, which is why, when the time comes, I am certain they will fight to the last man. If truth be told, I would not have been surprised had Ranjit declared war here and now.
He may have reason to delay. According to reports, the Yulmoran forces at Laxan Loft were observed taking a prisoner. A young woman believed to be none other than the Oracle of Light, Minfilia. It may be that General Ranjit wishes to convey her to Yulmore before commencing hostilities. Having mentored generations of Minfilias, it would not surprise me if he had made her capture his chief concern.
Ah, of course. How remiss of me. I had intended to speak to you of Minfilia. There is, however, much to say, and precious little time in which to say it. I think it best that you seek out Moren at the Cabinet of Curiosity. He'll be able to enlighten you. Alphino, Alize, would you care to accompany your friend? You doubtless have insights of your own to offer on the matter.
All right, though I'm still not sure I understand it all myself.
In the meantime, I will set about making provisions for war.
Lots of throwbacks to the Realm Reborn. How this realm all started. Yes, if you're after books pertaining to the Warrior of Darkness, I'm afraid most are out on loan at present. They are experiencing quite a surge in popularity. Oh, you wish to learn about the Oracle of Light? Then it would be my pleasure to assist. After I finished off some few outstanding tasks, that is, while I attend to them, perhaps you could fetch me a book. The Illustrated Tale of the Oracle of Light, it's called. Though it's intended for younger readers, it provides an excellent summary of the subject matter, and the artwork is quite lovely besides. I would not hesitate to recommend it to anyone with an interest in learning about Minfilia. But you must see for yourself. The book should be located at the level below. Should, I say. For while there's a place for everything here, not everything is always in its place, despite my best efforts. In short, if the book is not where it should be, it will almost certainly be somewhere it shouldn't. So, good luck. Rude. Rude. Just as your eyes begin to blur, they finally come to rest on a copy of the Illustrated Tale of the Oracle of Light. So we are on the bottom floor, north side of the library tower. Yes, this is the one. I hope it wasn't too difficult to track down. I'm happy to say I've finished all my pressing tasks. If you want to call your friends over, we can begin learning at once. Without further ado then. It began 100 years ago, when the flood of light threatened to swallow Norvrant. Just as all seemed lost, a savior appeared, who halted the all-consuming radiance. A maiden with hair of spun gold and eyes of clearest sapphire. Naught was known about her save that her name was Minfilia, and for delivering the realm she came to be revered as the Oracle of Light. After stopping the flood, the mysterious maiden vanished without a trace. But 15 years later her name would unexpectedly reappear in the annals of history. When Sin-Eaters laid ruin to the kingdom of Vobert, a young girl was discovered who was immune to the creature's blighted touch. One with hair of spun gold and eyes of clear sapphire, she was hailed as the Oracle Reborn, and came to likewise be called Minfilia. Enlisting in the Almoran army, this Minfilia fought and vanquished countless Sin-Eaters. Alas, like so many other soldiers, she eventually met her end in battle. Yet with her dying breath she whispered unto her grieving comrades, Minfilia will return. And true to her words, some years later, another young girl was discovered who possessed the self-same eyes, that self-same hair, and those self-same powers. She too took the name Minfilia. She too fought Sin-Eaters as a soldier of Yulmor, and she too fell in battle. Many more were to follow in her footsteps, and so the cycle continues to this day. And that concludes the tale. By their valor and sacrifice, these women have saved Norvrant on numerous occasions. And were it not for them, we might never have learned of the Light Wardens and their nature. They sound like formidable warriors. Some, perhaps, the truth is rather less simple. Though the Oracle is reborn with certain common traits, she does not inherit the memories or the knowledge of her previous incarnations. All of the Minfilias thus far were discovered as ordinary girls, unversed in the ways of war and ignorant of the power they harbored. While some embraced their fate and devoted themselves to training, others did not. But all were made to face the Sin-Eaters, and all died to keep our hopes alive. What can you tell us about the current Minfilia? She was found by the Yomoran army some 10 years ago and taken into their care. Or rather their custody. She was a prisoner in all but name. For by that time, under Lord Vuthri's rule, Gilmore had already abandoned resistance in favor of decadence. Minfilia was an uncomfortable reminder of the war they no longer wished to fight, a potential threat to the peace, and so they kept her under lock and key. For a long while, we heard nothing more of her. We couldn't even be certain she was alive, save that it was the Gilmorians' best interest for her to remain under their control. But then 3 years ago, a gallant soul stole into the city and rescued her from their clutches, just like a hero from the tales. Indeed. Well, I believe we now have a good grasp of Minfilia's tale. Thank you for your time, Morin. Might I trouble you for a word outside? As you will have already surmised, the gallant soul who rescued Minfilia was none other than our own dear Thancred. They have since been wandering the land together, never remaining in one place for long, which is why we have not yet heard and have not yet had a chance to meet them. We know that Minfilia journeyed here as Hydaelyn's emissary to halt the flood of light. It could only be her that the people of the First witnessed 100 years ago, the original Oracle of Light. But while there's plainly some connection between the woman we knew and her namesakes, the fact that these girls do not share her memories must surely mean they are not the same person. Thancred has to understand that. I have no doubt that he understands. The question is how he feels. Regardless, the Thancred we know would not forsake his charge. If she has been captured, we may be certain he will not stand idly by. There you go again, talking in your roundabout way. If you think we should rescue Minfilia, just spit it out. Just so happens I agree with you. It's quite clear that this Minfilia possesses Hydaelyn's blessing. And it wouldn't hurt to have a second such individual on our side, right? One's generally been enough. Fine. I see you've made up your minds. Exarch, what brings you here? A report and a proposal. First, the report. Our scouts have confirmed that the Gilmoran forces at Lexenloft do indeed have Minfilia in their custody. For the present, they are holding her there, but we can be certain they will move her to Yulmore ere long. Should that happen, we may be forced to give her up as lost. So, if we mean to act, we should do so quickly. Which brings me to my proposal. I ask that you entrust this undertaking to us, the people of Crystarium.
You are doubtless eager to attempt Minfilia's rescue, and with your combined strength you may well succeed. But as I said earlier, I do not wish to show our hand unless absolutely necessary. Twas not merely the night sky that you restored to us, but hope. Hope for the future of Norvrand. Unlike you, we cannot contend with the Light Wardens, but so long as hope burns in our hearts, we will fight on regardless. This I will prove to you. My friends, I thank you for gathering at such short notice. There is something I would ask you all. As many of you are aware, I received an emissary from Yulmore a short while ago in the form of General Ranjit. To my dismay, the General condemned the slaying of the Light Warden, and warned me in no uncertain terms that, should the Crystarium cast its lot with the Warrior of Darkness, there would be war. Let none be mistaken. We would be hard-pressed indeed to resist the might of Yulmore. Some would even call it suicide. And yet my heart cries out to fight. Better that than relinquish the hope that swelled in my breast when I beheld the night sky for the first time in 100 years. Or so says my heart. My mind, meanwhile, reminds me that to follow my heart would be to risk everything we have accomplished thus far. Clearly, this is not a decision to be made lightly, nor less alone. And so I put the question to you all. What should we do?
My lord, you already know our minds. It brought tears to our eyes to witness the knight's return. The whole of Norvrant deserves the same, and not just because some children's story tells us so.
Yulmore's influence is far-reaching. Should war break out, trade would be subject to restrictions. The flow of goods will dry up, and we will struggle to make do with what little trickles through. But make do, we will.
Aye, we can weather such hardships. Is that not the very thing the Crystarium was built for? We have always taken pride in our ability to sustain ourselves. Not just to endure, but to thrive.
When all falls down around you, rise up. Those were your words. There may come a day when all hope seems lost, but even should the rest of the world give in to despair, we shall not. We shall fight on, that our children and our children's children might know a better tomorrow.
Rousing words apart, I never much cared for those Yulmoran bastards anyway. No better than common swindlers, most of them. Wouldn't know a fair deal if it came up and kissed them on the arse.
Trust you to spoil the moment.
It appears we have a consensus. Let it be known that the Yulmoran host at Laxon Loft has taken the Oracle of Light captive. They fear the power she holds over the Sin Eaters, and doubtless intend to imprison her once more. So, I move that we rescue the Oracle, grant her a place among us, and let that be our answer to Yulmore's ultimatum.
Hear, hear!
Hear, hear!
In planning a strategy for the rescue, I open the floor to you all.
And there you have it. If Yulmore wishes to denounce us as villains, then we shall embrace our villainy. Will you do so as well?
We will not be outdone. Consider us your partners in crime.
My lord, our proposal is as follows. At the same time, we scatter dream powder from the air. Not all will succumb to its effects, but it should thin the enemy's numbers, affording us an opening to swoop in and liberate the Oracle.
Very good. See to your preparations.
And what exciting crimes would you have us commit? Speaking for my fellow villains, I'd say we're capable of most things, though we draw the line at indolence.
If excitement is your desire, then I bid you join the guard. Captain Lena will give you your orders.
So, you'll be joining the Guard, but however highly the Exarch thinks of you, you'll receive no special treatment from me, is that clear? Where's that salute, soldier? Better. More spirited than the Exarch's feeble attempts, certainly. Now, first things first, you'll need uniforms. Go to the crystalline mean and report to Catalyst. She will see you measured and fitted. And there's the last of them. Your friends are being measured as we speak. Right this way. We'll see to it you look your dashing best for your first outing. Done, are you? Let's have a look at those numbers. I see. How goes it? Sorry, Captain, I'm afraid we don't have anything on hand that's already fit. But we do have a few that are fairly close. We should be able to make them work with some minor adjustments. Very well then, see to it, and have the uniforms delivered directly to the field. I shall take this opportunity to brief you on the mission. As mentioned earlier, we will deploy Amuro to scatter dream powder from the air. Once the powder takes effect, an elite unit will storm the fortress to rescue the Oracle. Her safe liberation is our sole objective. Engagement is to be avoided whenever possible. I assume we're to be part of said unit? Correct. The unit will be divided into two contingents, one deploying from Fort Job and the other from the Ostal Imperative. You and Alphanod will join the former. Chloe, meanwhile, you will join the latter with me. Before you proceed to your positions, you are to report to Chesamil at Spagarix. She'll issue you with a serum to ward off the effects of the dream powder. We shall be on our way then. Take care, my friend, and we'll see you in the field. It's quite far to the Imperative, so you may make use of an Amuro from the Rookery, after you have collected the serum, of course.